Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Talking Elite Fitness. It is Wednesday, March 4th, and we are in a transition week between week 1 and week 2 of the Open. I guess you could say it's officially week 2. Tommy Marquez here alongside Lauren Khalil. Sean Woodland just touched down in Columbus, Ohio for the Arnold Classic. So he's going to have the week off as he preps for a very busy weekend out there in Ohio. But first things first, Lauren, I got to ask, how are your legs doing?
Tommy, I am so glad that we sit during this podcast because if anybody asked me to stand for as long as we're going to podcast, not that it's going to be that long, but yeah, my legs are not doing well. And I didn't even send it the way that I normally would. So I can only imagine for the folks that sent it really hard. I mean, I made it through, what was it, 42 or 44 of the 66 wall balls. So I wasn't anywhere near where most people got to. Nonetheless, my quads still absolutely wrecked. Like, once again, the Open does it. It just terrorizes you and you all, and all the memes on the internet right now of people trying to get on the toilet and walking up and down the stairs. It's real. Have you recovered yet?
I have not. Today's the first day that I think I could get below parallel if my life depended on it. I did it Saturday. Yeah, my legs just absolutely thrashed. So much so that it has put me in some weird and compromising positions this week as I try to go about my normal routine. So yeah, that was that one smacked me around a bit. We definitely want to do like a full 26.1 recap in just a second because I think the soreness is just a little bit of the story. But we do have a lot to talk about today. WFP qualifiers wrapping up. We have our final numbers are in for the Open registration. A big change in leadership at CrossFit, as well as some new competitions popping up and some new formats showing out for athletes to take part in that were just recently announced. And we still got 2 more weeks in the Open to look forward to as well. And we're going to get to all of that in just a second. But first, we want to say thank you to our sponsor today and always, Thirdzy. I'm just going to go out and say it. I'm going to put it out there. The best sleep supplement that I have ever crossed paths with on this earth. It's powered by four clinically researched natural ingredients. You have magnesium, collagen, GABA, L-theanine, all of which help you calm your nervous system, settle into that nice sleep pocket, and get a better night's sleep and have better recovery as a result. Look, it always feels like there aren't enough hours in the evening to get all the sleep that we want. But there's 2 ways we can improve this, right? We can get more sleep, which not always going to happen, or we can get better sleep. And this is one of the things that I absolutely love about Thirdzy. It's not going to make you drowsy. It doesn't have melatonin, so it's not habit forming. It doesn't mess with all the chemicals and stuff like that, like melatonin can do. And so you can take it daily. You don't have to worry about that. But what it does do is helps get you into that sleep mode, especially if you take it as a part of your nighttime routine. I personally have noticed my deep sleep, my REM sleep pop more. I definitely know the REM side of it because I'm dreaming more, which is always fun.
That's a fun stat.
Yeah, it's like clockwork. When I take it, I know because I have some super vivid dreams, which it's nice. Thirdzy is also third-party tested. It's contaminant free, and it's just an all-around awesome supplement used by High Rocks pros, marathoners, doctors, and CrossFit champions like our good friend Jason Grubb. And if you want to take wow, I can't even speak today. If you want to take advantage of a special Open promotion, you can use the code TEF or scan the code on your screen right now. You're going to get an extra 5% off of our normal 20% discount. So 25% off now and through the Open. Just head to thirdzy.com. Again, use the code TEF, or if you're watching, scan the code on your screen and get yourself some better sleep, because let's be honest, the legs could probably use it right now.
And the other great thing about Thirdzy is yeah, it's a great sleep supplement, but it also repairs. So
Mhm.
while we're talking about how sore our legs are, I can only imagine how much more sore they would be if I hadn't been taking Thirdzy, because the ingredients help repair while you're sleeping and in dreamland. So if I'm waddling to 75%, it would have been 100% if I didn't have my Thirdzy. So thank goodness for that.
Yep, 10 grams of Argentinian grass-fed beef. Yeah, definitely helps those joints as we were jumping and squatting this past weekend. Like we said before, 26.1 comes out of the hopper, wall balls, box jumps. Kind of felt like maybe a little direct shot at anyone who had criticisms of going below parallel throughout the season. But I will say this: I want to start, Lauren, with the announcement. I thought,
Yeah.
at least as far as the visuals are concerned, it was a great announcement. Uh, Sean and I talked about this offline, but the helicopter in the background and having the athletes come through
Oh,
the
yeah.
helicopter, it honestly felt
Epic.
like it kind of felt like the Guile level from Street Fighter. When I don't know if you played that game, but Guile
I
is
actually didn't.
yeah, he's the U.S. military guy, blonde hair, flat top. Um, his level, you had like a helicopter or a plane in the background while you're fighting your opponent. It definitely kind of felt like that, and I thought honestly we got a pretty good performance given that both Colton and Hopper finished. And what did you think of the Mr. Wallball uh,
Honestly,
presentation?
I thought Dave's acting, and we call it acting, air quotes, was the best that it's been. And I loved when he used the pen as the microphone by mistake. That moment
Oh,
literally had me cackling. I was like, wait, we gotta rewind it. I gotta watch this again.
I mean,
That honestly was my highlight.
that's got to be up there as far as like Dave presentations and the hand signals that he's used over the years. Sean and I talked about it when we recapped our open moments. The Mr. Wallball thing, I remember like kind of stopping for a second and like looking off into the distance, like, did I just hear that? And all I could think of, and it just made me smile, was imagine Roger Goodell getting up in front of the
Oh my
entire
God.
world, and like, let's say it's the probably the most televised public thing that doesn't involve actual like people playing at the time,
Yeah.
like maybe Roger Goodell showing up for the NFL draft,
Mhm.
and basically pulling up.
Doing that.
And for this announcement of the first pick in the draft, here's Mr. Football. Like I just like tried to picture like the commissioner or like face in terms of the admin side of any sport going up and doing that. I don't know. It just it was wild,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's what makes Dave Dave. I just it's awkward, it's uncomfortable. If I were in a public space, I would look over my shoulder to make sure no one's watching me see a grown man put a smiley face, a sad face on a wall ball. But it worked, and it fit within the framework of the workout. So
It
yeah.
worked. It was goofy, it was comical, it was very Dave, and it's almost, where he's I I almost picture him in, like, a hooded cloak. He's like the old witch in, Sleeping Beauty with the apple, and, like, you know the secret,
Snow
and you
White.
start, like, laughing. Snow White, thank you, not
Yep.
Sleeping Beauty, jeez Louise, and handing the apple, "Yes, take a bite. Here, it's gonna be delicious." That is Dave as he's presenting the open workouts.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Um, yeah. Obviously he had them guess which of the implements were on that, and it's all part of like the showmanship. But
Mhm.
in the end, I mean, it was just a stout like leg drive, leg endurance, like strength endurance workout that I think just punished a lot of people who've been walking funny for days. Colton put on a show as he does. I think
Yeah.
um, being the worldwide open winner last year, him going toe to toe with the CrossFit Games champion was kind of a nice touch, and both of them finishing 1-2.
Mhm.
Um, and it's I know at least at the gym, a lot of people at our gym, we do an event on Saturday. They also program it Friday as part of our like typical class workout so people can do it. I know a lot of people just felt more comfortable jumping in with it because it was pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
And yeah, so at least as an approachable piece is concerned for that first open workout. Yeah, I think I did that. I'm curious to see how it plays into the rest of the open program because I don't like to necessarily dive too into the weeds on a specific workout and its test without like seeing the entirety of the programming for the 3 weeks too. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it definitely was a great workout for week 1 in the sense that, okay, if people hadn't signed up yet because
Mm.
you're intimidated or you don't know if you can do the movements, I mean, everybody that's gone to a CrossFit gym has done some kind of variation of a wall ball, some kind of a getting over a box. So I think that the programming for week 1 was right on par with what they've been doing for the past couple of years, making it more accessible. And it was kind of fun. They had that graphic where it was High Rocks shaking the hand or arm wrestling the hand of CrossFit. So I thought that that was kind of a fun play together and showing, oh, hey, High Rocks people, y'all do wall balls, come join us. So that I thought was a nice little touch.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, there's been a ton of discussion about wall ball depth and back and forth because High Rocks has gotten a little bit of the brunt of that, but it almost felt like High Rocks athletes an opportunity to come back and be like,
hey guys, you guys don't hit depth either.
yeah, exactly. But all I got to say is hold the line, guys. Hold the standard. We'll be all right. But speaking of approachable and open registration, we do have the kind of final-ish tally for open registration. If you haven't already, Mike Halpin from Known and Noble has just been publishing stuff constantly throughout the open season. He is just always on top of the ball there. If you go to, hold on, I'm going to pull it up right now. He has the final numbers. I believe he had it in the neighborhood of, let me see. Of course, now it's not loading. There we go. So I'm going to share my screen here. Can you see that, Lauren?
Yes.
Oop, did not mean to do that.
Boop, boop.
Yeah, so I'll have to reshuffle this. But if you see it on your screen, 253,234. I want to say Halpin put it out there that somewhere around 7-8% increase over the year before. Not quite that 10%. It's growth nonetheless. Obviously, there's some back and forth. There are people that say any recouping of growth is net positive. Sean has definitely been in that camp. Growth is growth, and that's kind of what you have to hang your hat on. I've heard some murmurings that CrossFit's expectations and hopes for the growth were even less than this. So I'm sure for them that's a win. I'm sure that's something that they'll be able to broadcast. But there's also the kind of, I guess, maybe realists or pessimists who look at this relative to just 2 years ago and say you're still down a significant amount that you're trying to claw back, especially given the total number of new registrants. So definitely, if you haven't already, go follow Mike Halpin, known_noble, or maybe it's just known noble on Instagram. He's got a link to this on his Instagram stories. You can scroll all the data. It has everything from individual divisions, the registration velocity, and more. So just a quick shout out and a thank you to him for everything that he has been doing and keeping track of this over the open season. I don't know. We can talk about this more later because I do want to get Sean's thoughts when we're all back together. And it should be noted that if you continue, people who sign up now, they won't tally towards the open total, but their open registration does get counted towards the prize purse for the CrossFit Games
Yeah,
overall
that's a good
prize
note.
purse. So if you have friends that are on the fence, still want to jump in and support, they can't do that. But I don't know. Where do you net out on this?
I would agree that a upward tick is a win. It shows that there is still interest, there is still growth, even though we're not at the numbers that we used to see. We obviously had a big downwards tick last year, but I think seeing it going back up in the right direction amongst all the chaos, like, is there still a looming sale? And we'll talk about it in a minute. Don Faul, no longer the CEO after the 6th. What day is today? So in a couple days, maybe once you're listening to this, a lot of things that are happening that could lead to people being still uncertain, but we are still seeing more people increase or that number increase in registration. So I think that I would agree that the open numbers going up is a win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard to, I try to like separate myself from my like personal lived experience of seeing the crazy growth of the open getting north of 400,000 and being a part of that wave that rode on the way up. But 250,000 people participating in an event is still significant.
Yeah.
I do think that while it is a win, to me, the naysayers of like, look how much you've lost, and the gap between what was had just a few short years ago and right now should be a reminder of what's still left to be regained. Right? Like
Right,
there's still work to
hope.
There's still work to be done in regaining trust in the brand, in the company, and honestly in the administration of the sport, because I think there's still passion in the sport, but in the last few years there's just a lot more competition and a lot more options for people, and as a result, all of those things that I've just mentioned combined has gotten us to that number, and so that needs to be kind of at the forefront as they try to move forward from here. Real quick, results are not final, but as it stands right now, the overall standings from week 1 in the open still pending review. Miriam von Rohr, who will be participating in 26.2 and is back-to-back open champion, kind of picking up where she left off. Lucy Campbell, awesome performance from her. She's in second place globally with a time of 10:34. That 9:50 from Miriam just seems otherworldly. I want to see video of that. And then
you gotta look at the video. It's wild.
Yeah,
it makes you feel really unfit.
I saw a clip of it and I thought the movement for a few parts wasn't like sped up, and then I realized like, no, I'm just that slow. But some other names, familiar names, who have been at least either on the international competition scene at semifinals, at games or off season: Vorturm and Mo, Burgos Bjornsdottir, Andra Moistis out of Estonia. Ellie Turner, nice to see her back in the top 10, starting to work her way back into competition form after the back injury that was hampering her for so long. Lauren Weeks, one of the best Hyrox athletes in the world, finishing in the top 10. So nice little tip of the cap there as well. And then some somewhat familiar names in the top 50 on that first page: Carolyn Prevost, Gracie Walton, Mackenzie Riley, back in the mix there. Annika Greer, Emma Lawson, Elena Caratala. So some names you would expect to be towards the top of the leaderboard overall. And as we switch over to men a little bit, this is one of the things that really stood out from the competition as a whole. I was just so impressed with Colton's performance on the fly there and how it held up over time. Anytime someone puts them in a top 3, top 5 performance at an open announcement as the first to go, when you don't really have time to strategize as much, is always impressive to me. I do think that maybe this test lent itself to just, you got to go, because otherwise you're going to get capped. So maybe the strategy wasn't as heavy as just like, hey, go unbroken and push it. But still an amazing performance from Colton as he finishes as the third best time. And 2 Icelandic athletes Bjarne Leifs and Rokvi Gudnason, first and second overall, 10:59 and 11:05. They may actually train together. I'd have to double check that. Both out of CrossFit Reykjavik. So yes, James Sprague up there as well. Harry Lightfoot, Jeff Adler, Peter Ellis rounding out the top 5. Top 10. Jason Hopper tied Peter Ellis for 10th worldwide. So another top performance. 2 of them from the Open announcement. Some pretty awesome stuff there from the 26.1 announcement. And then, Jonas Koski, Travis Mayer, all guys that were able to get underneath that time cap. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think more women finished under the time cap than men.
I don't know 100% sure, but I mean, the women's times were faster, at least at the top. So I would think that more women finished under the cap.
I want to say there was a slight advantage due to wall ball height. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so less than 50 men finished under the time cap and over 100 women. So awesome stuff. I do think wall ball height. Every time I go side by side with like one of the best athletes in the gym. She's also the owner. Was a semifinal athlete in wall balls. It feels like she's doing like 4-2 every time, just because the ball doesn't have to go as high and she's faster than the squat. So,
but Tommy, you can basically put your hands up and touch the target. You're basically.
Hold on, I think I lost you for a sec. That might be my bad. Oh, of course.
Am I back?
That's why. You got me?
Yeah, I have you. I never lost you.
I got you. My headphones kicked out. Sorry.
Oh,
that's my bad.
I was saying that when you do a wall ball, all you have to do is a little boop, because your hands, when you reach them all the way up, are basically at the line.
True. Yeah, but I think in the early days of CrossFit, being tall was super helpful, but now everybody's just so strong and quick that the less time you can have the ball in your hands in terms of like getting that release, and you're not under tension under the weight, that's just the better. And
yeah, that's a good point.
There's more floors in this elevator for me to hit the basement and get back up to the top. So
very true.
At least that's what my excuse is. But yeah, we'll have to get some more thoughts from Sean on his 26.1 experience once he gets back and back to a normal cadence. But anything else that's kind of stood out to you about this open workout before we kind of turn the page?
No, like I said, I think it was pretty straightforward. It was cool to see, like, my CrossFit affiliate. We have CrossFit classes, but on the other side of the gym, there's also like boot camp classes that don't use barbells, and a decent amount of them were able to do this open workout. The affiliate that I go to, they try to bridge that gap. Like, okay, everybody can do it. It doesn't matter if you're doing boot camp class or CrossFit. Like, this is a community thing that we're doing, and I think it was great to see some of them able to jump in on the workout as well.
Yeah, heck yeah. Definitely approachable. Definitely a lot of people were reminded how much wall balls can truly punish you. I think anyone who's been around that initial, it's like the first time you do Karen, and you realize there's no escaping. That's always a treat. I'm now, I guess all eyes turn to 26.2 and what's coming out of the hopper. The clue was like little wheat in a field kind of thing. I thought, so this is...
Yeah, what do you think?
For me, it's over in Europe.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the scene. Do you remember the movie Gladiator?
Of course. That's actually something I have seen.
Okay. So whenever he kind of goes in his mind to like the afterlife and he thinks of his wife and kids, it's always like him feeling like the grains of like wheat or those little thingies on the blades of grass.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So I don't know. I wonder if that's somehow tied into it, because it's very, very obscure.
It is.
And that's how Dave thinks.
You're right. That is exactly how Dave thinks. Even with the way that he was talking about the numbers and why 66 needed a friend, and that's why it wasn't 60. And like, that whole speech I was like, where are we going with this? What's happening right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like thinking about this week today, when at the time that people listen to this, when the workout comes out, I'm also thinking ahead of the last week is in Miami at Wadapalooza. And for some reason, for me, I think that they're going to save the barbell for Miami.
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's something cool about lifting oceanside. Maybe that's just a me thing. I don't know, which makes me believe that this week is going to be burpees, double unders, and some kind of gymnastics.
Mm. Okay. You think it's going to be, my thought initially would be over like upper body focus. Like you
Yeah.
could do
Yeah.
lower body focused, upper body focused, like midline tied all together, kind of
Mm,
beautiful toes to bar type thing.
yeah.
Um, yeah, but I don't know. I think this week obviously will be much more telling as we start to kind of check that box a little bit. The open announcement, if you not clued in, 26.2. If you're listening to this, it'll probably be today. It's Thursday, March 5th, and it is going to take place from Portugal. So making the Portuguese debut. Uh, it's going to be Amy Kringle, Lucy Campbell, Miriam Von Rohr, all going head to head to head in 26.2. So be sure to fry up some linguiça, get yourself a cold can of Samol and some Vino Verde. So those are all Portuguese things.
Wow.
Which
Look at you go, Tommy.
two of my best friends, full-blooded Portuguese, and two of my closest friends from growing up are full-blooded Portuguese. So
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, we go to the crab feed at the Portuguese Hall every year. That's kind of
Oh, yeah.
our indoctrination. But yeah, so it should be fun. You can catch all of that. It's at noon Pacific time at games.crossfit.com. And we'll have to kind of wait and see what the next announcement is. Before we kind of move on to the more serious stuff, Xenom, another competition kind of series, was just announced.
Mm-hmm.
We're in talks to have one of their representatives on the show to talk a little bit more about the development of it, how it came to be, and what people can expect from this new competition series that's popping up and getting a little bit of press. One thing I think is certainly noteworthy is that they have partnered with CrossFit as a CrossFit licensed event.
Yeah.
So 10 events over 2 days. A couple of the events are already known. More are going to be announced as they come along. And it's going to be the same 10 events. So I don't know about you, but to me, this feels like immediately kind of like the cross section between CrossFit, High Rocks, and what the IF3 has been trying to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where the
I wasn't even
IF3 is
thinking IF3.
yeah, the IF3s have tried really hard to get a set of standardized testing protocols that would allow it to get into the Olympic training cycle and fit under the umbrella of what could be allowed in the Olympics. I know originally LA 2028 was their hope in being a demonstration sport there. I don't think that's happening, or I think the door is shut on that. But having the same 10 events over a 2-day period, obviously, you're going to have all this mixed modality element, single modality tests, endurance tests all across the board, much more similar to what you would have on a high level CrossFit competition. Standardizing it and going on tour for multiple events, that's very much more High Rocks. And I think it's an interesting development partnering with CrossFit because we've talked a lot about like the competition that CrossFit is feeling from outside entities
Mm-hmm.
in the sport side of things. And this seems like a potential way to bridge the gap for things like this that want to appeal to the CrossFitter in a competition series, but also expand the realm of what the sport of fitness can be and can look like. So and we've seen that's what I think. Like I think WFP has done that on the administrative side in terms of having a tour type season and having points accumulation. This could be really cool in terms of like multiple events, a little bit more participatory if possible. We'll see what they focus on and more of the details coming out. or if this could be another new way of standardizing a CrossFit competition to see who could just maximize their potential in these specific events.
Well, that's the thing that I'm most excited about for this is the standardized programming, and then being able, after a whole season, looking at the data and looking at those numbers, and maybe seeing athletes that have even come from other sports outside of CrossFit. That's what I'm really interested in seeing. Like, what elite CrossFitters jump into this? What elite, maybe even high rocks athletes that might also have some Olympic weightlifting training behind them. But who do we see that like is an unknown? What athletes from other sports or sectors are we going to see? And that part, I'm really excited for the anticipation of who's to come.
Yeah, and it's being billed as the decathlon of fitness. Obviously decathlon, 10 events in track, covers a broad range. And for the longest time, the winner of the decathlon was considered the best athlete in the world, or one of the greatest athletes in the world, because they were excelling across a broad range of tests. It's funny because obviously, like, for looking at that through the CrossFit lens, it's very, very different. You have a different approach to that because our take on fitness is much different than what someone in a track and field purist might look at. But one thing I do love about the decathlon is that there's like a million different ways to tweak and pull and affect overall performance, right? There are athletes, and you see the wild fluctuations in the leaderboard where it's like every time it shows up at the Olympics, you're like, oh, this person's in the lead, but they're really good at the long jump. They're going to be awful at the steeplechase. They're going to be, great at the throwing, and we're going to have to kind of see where it nets out. And hey, last time they showed up, he was really good in these areas and it's shown some improvement here. What is the end result when you pull on this lever, push on this one every time you come out? So I think there's still enough with 10 events over 2 days to, maybe not make the claim of fittest on earth, but get some really good feedback and some really cool performances and see how, dynamic fitness athletes can try to maximize across those 10 tests. But yeah, I mean, you got a 1 rep max snatch right there.
I'm already bought in to watch that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yep, for sure. So definitely something to keep your eye on as they continue to have more announcements on what those tests will. We're going to have one of their founding members and the founder and kind of CEO. We're hoping to have him on soon. So yeah, that's pretty cool, and just another option maybe for us to get out there and throw down a little bit. One quick note. Linda Caseman announced on social media that she will be out for the game season, I believe, due to a UCL injury in her elbow. I do think, she did say that she'll still be able to have a crack at the World Fitness Project season. This is one of the things that I've said that it's nice to have those options, right? Because her entire
the Open right now.
Yeah, her entire competitive year is not lost. So obviously want her to heal up and get back out to the highest level very quickly. I'm trying to think. That was only the individual major athlete announcement this week.
Yes, the only other thing is the CrossFit Games doc is out now. I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to watch it this weekend. Yes. And so, because I know we're in the middle of the Open right now, people might have not seen it yet, but I do think at some point we should debrief after watching it, but we don't want to give any spoilers because I also haven't watched it yet.
Yes, I think we should do a movie review on that. I think that deserves its own episode. So yeah, it's out now. You can go access it. They have an announcement on the game's website as well as online, so you can go see depending on which platform you use. Definitely go out, support the filmmakers in that. This is something that I've had the honor of being a part of in years past, and I know the time and energy and effort that goes into making these documentaries. So it's not just about whether you agree or supporting CrossFit or not, wherever you stand on that, given all the drama, know that the filmmakers are an integral part of that, and supporting the movie also supports them, especially because there's some awesome people involved. So yeah, go check that out. We'll do a full movie review in the coming weeks. It's funny because I was just I had some friends that were going back through all the old games docs starting back
Oh yeah,
2015,
that's fun.
and Froning, and they were sending me screenshots of us to from sitting in the interviews and us looking like babies from a decade ago. So I said it was good timing with the new doc coming out for sure. But I guess we should transition now to the bit of news that came down just a day or so ago. Don Faul stepping down as CEO. Now, I want to preface this. We are going to spend more time on this in the coming weeks. When Sean gets back, I think as a roundtable, I want to. The idea popped in my head as we were coming on here. We should have John Woolley to discuss that, because I think he has put out some very thoughtful discourse on that online, and kind of discuss some of the ins and outs of that, because the CEO search now, as CrossFit had a brief announcement mentioning that, and there was mention of an executive search firm that's going on. That is going to coincide, obviously, with the potential pending sale. Don spent about 4 years as CEO. A ton has changed from the time he came on. I remember the first time I met Don at the games when we were there on the media team. Personally, I have always liked Don. He's always been, to a person, has always been super professional. Has always been super open. He's always made himself available to me and to us. So obviously want to wish him the best in whatever his future endeavors are. If he's open to coming on whenever he is ready, love to chat with him more on that. And we're going to, effort trying to get him on, if all things being allowed. But I think, just if we're staying surface line, it wouldn't be unfair to say that his tenure was marked by some instability. I would say from a handful of factors, but especially as things are now in limbo as far as a sale is concerned.
What do you, and I know we'll talk about this more, but what do you think about the timing?
I definitely have more thoughts on this later, but I saw a lot of people being like, I can't believe this happened. Like, this is out of the blue. I don't think this is out of the blue for people behind the scenes, as it may seem to the public. It has felt like for the past year or so that things were getting prepped for some leadership changes. And I don't know if leading the company long-term was initially in Don's plan. So I think this is it may not be necessarily the same circumstances as expected, but I don't think what we're seeing now is too far a departure as what might have been in the plan when he was initially brought on. I could be wrong there. We'll have some more insight as we continue to have conversations behind the scenes. But he is out at CEO. This comes right in the middle of the Open, one of the highest profile kind of events when participation is at its highest, and it's certainly left some people scratching some heads. So we're gonna dive into that much more in the coming weeks. But it is certainly some major news, because now we have what has felt like, previous to the year before last at the games, it felt like there was a constant churn in the C-suite at CrossFit. Don was kind of a constant in the midst of that, but now that particular tenure is over, and there's going to be a lot of discussion about who should step in and fill the role now that he's gone. So yeah, kind of crazy. just feels like this, nothing is stable in the CrossFit world these days.
I don't think anything's stable anywhere right now.
That's a good point. I know my legs aren't stable. I wouldn't trust them
My legs are definitely not stable right now.
We had to pick up cabinets
Oh no.
this early this week, Monday. And so I was lifting and moving cabinetry for our house. And cabinets are awkward, heavy. And when we went to pick them up, the guy at the loading dock for the warehouse was looking at me funny. He's like, "Are you okay to do this?" And I'm like, "Yes, I just have to be very deliberate. I'm very sore." He's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Because I did a lot of squats." And he looked at me. He's like, "Why?" And every time I tried to explain, he would just ask why again, like a toddler trying to like get under their parents' skin. And finally, I'm just like, "Listen, none of this is going to make my legs feel any better. So if you don't mind just helping us get these in a little bit, will be better." So yeah.
Bad day to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh man. Brutal. Yeah, so hopefully my legs feel a little bit better tomorrow. I maybe ride the bike, shake them out on a run, and
Yeah.
then watch 26.2. Yeah, kind of a crazy week with the Open and all the announcements that have come down the pipe. Are you on the road at all this week?
Nope, I'm home this week. So I'll actually do the workout hopefully at my affiliate, or at the very least, with my friends from my affiliate, kind of depending what it is, we'll see. But yeah, like it was the this time I did it on a Monday because I was traveling on Friday. On Saturday, I was absolutely shot from traveling. So then I was like, well, I'm not going to do it on Sunday. I guess I'm going to do it on Monday. The only time I've done a workout or an open workout on a Monday is if I'm retesting. So it felt really bizarre to do it for the first time on Monday. But I was like, man, maybe this is the play, because then my psycho brain, like, there's no more time to do a repeat if you just wait till Monday.
Yeah, yeah. That's smart. Is your gym doing anything like, are they doing Friday Night Lights? Are they doing like any
So
sort of
yeah,
event?
so this Saturday, no, I'm sorry, this Friday for Friday Night Lights, they're teaming up with the weightlifting belt apparel company, Herd
Uh-huh.
Athletics.
Yeah.
They sell a bunch of things. They're really popular for their weight belts and some of their apparel, but they are setting up a booth at our affiliate, and people are going to
Cool.
throw down, and it's going to be a good time. The vibes are going to be high. We're going to bring it. So hopefully it's not 7 minutes of burpees,
That
because
would
that
suck.
would be really unfortunate.
I really hope that's not the case. But who knows?
You
That
never
sounds
know.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. What
CrossFit
about
West,
yours?
my affiliate, we're doing themes. This last week was 80s themed. Shout out the
Mm.
Buttery Bros. I was basically head to toe in Buttery Bros gear.
Oh, yeah.
From their chubby shorts to the chubby shirt, actually. Yeah. Which, now that I think about it, yeah, having friends always dripped in neon makes it an easy play. And then this
Now,
week is
if only we can get Sean to wear a little bit of neon. I don't know what we need to do, but I would love to see Sean in a neon tracksuit.
that we might be able to do that. The tracksuit we might be able to do.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
too bad. Our theme this week is superheroes, which reminds me, I
Oh,
have to
which one are you
check
going to
my
be?
Amazon. I was going to be Miles Morales Spider-Man, which my son is named after. So,
Oh, I
got to make
didn't
sure
know
that.
that.
Yeah,
I just didn't connect
that's where I
those
got
dots, but that makes a
that's
lot
where
of
I got
sense.
that's where I got the inspiration for his name.
Aw.
But yeah, so we're doing that, and then we have West Pride as our last theme. So wear all your CrossFit West gear,
I like
um,
that. It's always
and we
fun.
just did some recent good merch drops. So that'll be fun. We've got some stuff catered. Yeah. Any predictions before we go on the exact movements of 26.2?
Burpees, double unders, and toast a bar.
Oh, okay. Ah, is there? Hmm. I was going to think burpees, dumbbell hang clean to overhead, and I don't know. Maybe we'll do wall walks.
It's so hard when there's only 3 weeks though, because it's like, okay, the movements that we've been used to seeing. How many years has it been 3 weeks? Is this the third year?
It's been since 2021.
It's been that long, man. We keep talking about it like 5 weeks of the Open was like yesterday. But like, dang, 3 weeks of the Open, it's hard to predict the movements because you only have 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Where 5 weeks, you could be like, okay, process of elimination. We know that these are all the movements that are likely going to be seen and just fill in the gaps.
Maybe it's burpee pull-ups.
Oh, were those last year? The last 2 years? The shuttle runs and burpee pull-ups. Maybe that was quarterfinals.
Yeah, it was quarterfinals.
No, that was it? Okay.
Oh, it might have been the Open actually.
Or the Open. I think it was the Open.
My brain's fried right now, so my recall is not great, but
mine's always this way, but yeah, you normally remember the time, the date, the place of all those things.
Yeah, it's late. I haven't eaten dinner.
Yeah.
I was up at 3 a.m. with a kid with a tummy ache, so one of those days. Before we get going, do you have any PRs and no reps?
Ooh, okay. Starting with a no rep. I actually don't think that I have a no rep. I have a lot of PRs though.
I definitely got one no rep. I'm gonna no rep myself. I committed what I would consider a cardinal sin of fashion, something I told myself that I would never do. And I can honestly say I had never done until now. I wore CrossFit training shoes with blue jeans. And I've always, some people are like, what? Maybe some other people are like, I do that all the time. I don't know. Something about wearing like nanos or like a CrossFit gym training shoe with blue jeans just always got under my skin.
Honestly, I'm going to get so much hate for this, but unless they're like a mid top or a high top or an actual trendy like sneaker, don't get me wrong. I love the nanos, the rads, the strike mat, all of them fine, but you're not going to catch me. Yeah. There are so many great training shoes, but don't be wearing them with blue jeans out on a Friday night. Come on.
Yes, that's why. Like casual shoes for me are always casual, not training shoes. And I've always separated the two.
Yeah.
And yeah. If you show up to a first date wearing blue jeans and your Nano 7s, then you better hope she does CrossFit.
Yep. You better hope. You better hope and pray.
So that was my no rep. Yeah, PR. I got 2.
Okay, so my first PR is, have you ever been to Bryce Canyon?
In Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Okay. Amazing. Incredible. Stunning. I was very nervous about the time of year I chose to go because the week before I went, it was snowing, sleeting, trails were closed because of ice, and I was really worried because there's nothing that makes me more miserable than being cold, and if I'm cold and hungry, game over. Nobody wants to be around me, including I don't want to be around me. So I was a little nervous that the weather wasn't going to be good, but let me tell you, it was like high 40s. The sun was out the whole time. I saw maybe 10 people the entire day because it's not peak season. So you are walking these trails with nobody else in sight, and the contrast of the red with snow, the white, absolutely breathtaking. So PR, excuse me for my language. If your kids are listening, put the mute on for a moment. Mother Nature is motherfucking awesome. motherfucking awesome, Tommy. I gotta say it. Like, come on.
Nature is metal. It's rad. It really is. It's pretty awesome.
How did nature make that? How? Wind? I don't get it.
Thousands, millions of years, longer than you and I have been alive, and that's the beauty of it. Yep,
it's just so cool. So that's my big PR motherfucking nature.
Oh, that's awesome. Have you seen the double rainbow viral video from back in the day?
Double rainbow.
Oh my God, what does it mean? It's so beautiful. I feel like that was your double rainbow moment just now.
Yes, that was my double rainbow moment. Absolutely.
I'm gonna PR babies. Angelo DeChico and his wife just announced that they're expecting, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. Also, shout out my best friend from growing up, Craig, who him and his wife just had their baby. So,
congrats!
Another one to our hometown tribe just added to the mix, which is amazing. And yeah, they're just that phase of year. I feel like I've PR'd that multiple times, but the good news on that front just keeps coming. So it's been fun to chat with him and talk about the first couple of days of being a dad, because I was just there. So
you didn't black it out. You do remember it.
Some days it felt like a fever dream, but talking with him, it's like, oh yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Cool. So all good stuff growing on the family front.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Anything else before we get going, or?
No, I think those are all the news items. 26.2, here it is, and good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
Godspeed, everyone.
Shout out to everyone who did 26.1, registered or not. Awesome job throwing your hat in the ring, or just showing up and doing a bunch of wall balls and enjoying the ensuing leg pain afterwards. Thank you to everyone for listening. Big thanks to the support from Thirdzy. Go check out Thirdzy.com. Use the promo code TEF for 25% off. Maybe you can help shake off that last little bit of soreness in your legs as we get ready for 26.2. If you want to follow Sean, he is at the Arnold right now. Go over to Rogue Fitness's channels. You can watch all of the action from the Arnold Strongman Classic. He'll be on the call there as well. And then quick reload, and next week everything's off to Wodapalooza, Miami. So tons of stuff to get excited about. The competition season is in full swing, and we'll be here to recap it, as well as dive back into some of the latest developments around Xenom, Dawnfall, and more. Thanks again, guys. For Lauren Khalil, I'm Tommy Marquez. Best of luck in 26.2, and we'll see you guys next week.